Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. A quote from Benjamin Franklin which encourages us to sleep early. Nowadays, many people seem to discourage the fact that we should sleep early. This could be linked to night shift environments, higher office load, more schoolworks, and other external factors. We do not notice the short-term effects of sleeping early right now, but it would definitely cost us in the long run. Scientific researchers have unraveled that when people get less than 7 hours of sleep every night, they are at a greater risk of developing diseases. Not so fun to know, right? Following the right amount of sleeping hours is not enough. Going to bed earlier would give us greater benefits that we do not know of. Students are also at a greater risk of developing diseases due to the increased number of workload in our generation. Some tasks require more time allotment than others, which leads to students still studying till the wee hours of the night. Sleeping may be overlooked by students due to how hardworking they are, but we should also remember that our own health is important. There are many points on why we should consider sleeping early and why it is important in our daily sleeping cycle. Some people might say that sleeping is for the weak. When you hear them say it, reply to them that don't sleep and you'll eventually get weak. The World Health Organization has officially classified night shift work as a form of carcinogen because it interferes with our body clock. A study by Matthew Walker from the University of California stated that sleeping less than 6 hours a night doubles the risk of acquiring cancer. It also determines if one would develop Alzheimer's disease. Studies have also shown that people who have night owl habits have a higher risk of developing insomnia. As a student, have you also felt that you do not remember the things you studied late at night? Well, this is because sleeping also affects our memories. Sleep statistics have shown that sleeping adequately has a positive effect on our memory and learning. Being sleep deprived causes our brain to be dull and leads to a shorter attention span and a struggle to focus. Lastly, not sleeping early could lead to a negative impact on our mood, which could then lead to anxiety and depression. It can also cause greater stress levels, feelings of sadness, anger, and mental exhaustion. It is estimated that 90% of people with depression complain about sleep quality. This would also explain why some students and office workers feel stressed and exhausted when they sleep late, and they are also easily irritated. It is important to check on our mental health and relate it to what our sleep schedule is. Sleeping early is not just for our brain, it is also for our physical bodies. Sleeping early helps our body to replenish our energy faster and gives us a fresh new feeling when we wake up in the morning. Findings have also shown that restorative functions in our body, like muscle growth, tissue repair, and growth hormones are all released during our sleep. Sleep also helps our body regain the energy we lost during the day. You may not know this, but our sleeping schedules also affect our weight. For decades, doctors and scientists have studied that insufficient sleep affects the secretion of cortisol in our body, which regulates our appetites. It also affects our insulin levels. This would mean that if you are sleep deprived, you have a higher chance of acquiring diseases like type 2 diabetes. We should remember that not sleeping early and properly has a higher toll on our bodies than what we perceive. It is always better to see a doctor when we feel something unusual. Remember, preventing something is better than curing it. To sum it all up, our sleeping schedule should not be taken lightly. If we have nothing to do and it is past 10 p.m., we should already go to sleep. A helpful tip is to balance our tasks during the day and night so we won't procrastinate during the late hours. We may not see the effects of what we are doing right now, but it would eventually affect us in the future. As a student myself who regularly sleeps at the hours of around 10 to 11 p.m., I could say that it is much more refreshing to wake up in the morning in comparison to sleeping at around 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. Sometimes, we also need good sleep in our lives to replenish our energies. Isn't it fun to wake up in the morning with a sense of fulfillment, knowing that you slept early and you had adequate amount of sleep? Sleeping early also means that you would wake up early. If you slept early, you would have higher levels of energy and be more productive overall during the day. We should always remember that along with proper nutrition and daily exercise, good sleep is one of the pillars of being healthy. Sleep early and you would be rewarded. And as the saying goes, the early bird catches the worm.